Star Wars Battlefront 2 is a game that we know is criminally just pushed aside by EA. They stopped supporting it at the height of its popularity, and just goes to show that they obviously share one brain cell between them. But is Star Wars Battlefront 2 worth picking up now at the tail end of 2022 going into 2023 with no sign of any Battlefront 3 or Battlefront reboot on the horizon, even though I do think it's coming 100%. But Star Wars Battlefront 2, the Celebration Edition specifically, is always going on offer for about £5, especially on Steam. And I 100%ed the game and got the platinum on the PlayStation 4 a couple, 2-3 years ago, and haven't played it since now. I picked it up for a $5 on the Steam sale because I am a Star Wars fan. Not so much a fan of the new trilogy of films. I thought The Force Awakens started off great, and then we all know The Last Jedi just fell off a cliff. But, or to use a Star Wars reference, it sank into the swamps of Dagobah. But there we go. Nerds unite. But Battlefront 2, it plays amazing, it looks amazing, it sounds amazing, it fully immerses you in the Star Wars universe and in the Star Wars combat, and I just love it for that. I do not play the game to be sweaty. I do not play the game to be the best. I don't care how many kills I get. I just want to push the objective and just help the team out whichever way I can. I don't mind which game mode I play, and I can always find a game. Obviously it has its peaks and whatnot with how many people are playing it, but you will always find games. You will also always, possibly, maybe, occasionally find a hacker, which happened to me the other day. Kind of killed that game dead, and I think his account got discovered and banned because he wasn't there towards the end of the match. I hung about, but the rest of my team quit because they just weren't dealing with a hacker. Now, there are people on this game which you'll see they are max level on whatever character they're playing as or class they're playing as, and they are very good at the game, which is the way it is. If people spend a lot of time with something, they do get very, very good at it. Doesn't mean you shouldn't play. Now, of course, there is no skill-based matchmaking here, which, to my knowledge, which is a good thing, because you can hop in and you can just, trial by fire, but you're not. The game's not trying to screw you over in any way, which I believe skill-based matchmaking does, especially for Call of Duty. You have one good game and you're getting smashed all night by sweaty nerds, even though I am a sweaty nerd. But yeah, Star Wars Battlefront 2 is definitely worth buying on offer for a $5, 100%. You can also play the cooperative mode. You don't have to play online with people. You can play with AI, with a friend or yourself. I think you can play by yourself. But there's also the single-player campaign as well, for those that like it. I really like the single-player campaign, with Operation Cinder and all that stuff. I thought that was really, really cool. And the fact that you got to play as Luke as well in it was even better. But yeah, for being immersed in the Star Wars universe, playing through all three generations, I suppose, of the Clone Wars, the Empire, and the First Order sections of the game, I think, I think it's definitely worth picking up. But don't go into it thinking, I'm gonna have the best kill-death ratio and all this kind of bollocks, because that just, in my opinion, that just ruins games. Just if you're a Star Wars fan and you love Star Wars, like, it feels like you're in the Clone Wars, when you're fighting on Genosha, or you're just there immersed, shooting the crap out of battle droids, or battle droids shooting the crap out of clones, depending on your preference or whoever you get linked with. Being able to eventually play as a hero because everybody spams the hero button. Although I don't mind just playing just normal basic bitch assault, to be perfectly honest. And I guarantee you that every first game you play during the Clone Wars era will always be Kamino. That is my least favourite map. I hate the Kamino map with a burning passion. It's very restrictive, and it's just, in my opinion, just the worst map on the game. But it's still there. It's still Star Wars. It's still pew pew. And if you're a Star Wars fan, just get it for a $5. I mean, you're gonna get your money's worth out of a $5 anyway. I mean, I bought it for a $5. I've put on Steam version, I've put like 3 hours into it. That's your money's worth. You'd easily blow a $5 on a sandwich and a drink these days, which is just gone. You eat it once, you're gonna poop it out later, and it's gone. Whereas the Star Wars game, you've got it forever. So, I mean, people gotta look at the value of games differently. People seem to think, oh no, if I'm paying 60 quid, it needs to be 6,000 hours long. And that's not how the world works. I agree that if what should be there is quality, and more often than not, it is quality over quantity, because games used to cost that much back in the 90s, and were like Sonic the Hedgehog, you can beat in an hour, you know. So you got to look at it that way. But Sonic is a good game, and well, back then was, you know, all new with the emphasis on speed and stuff. But yeah, just before I digress any more on nerdy stuff, Star Wars Battlefront 2, 100% worth buying. Now with the tail end of 2022, and definitely the beginning of 2023, or 2023. There is a Star Wars Jedi Survivor coming out next year, which is really exciting. Of course, a single player. And I do hope that they reboot, or somebody else, because I don't think EA have the exclusive rights for Battlefront 2. I hope somebody somewhere, even if it's not called Battlefront, if it's just a Star Wars multiplayer game, which is a spiritual successor to Battlefront, but done right, with galactic conquest and the seamless space battles where you get to land on the enemy's ship and go off and do stuff, if they bring that back, you'll have yourself the best multiplayer Star Wars game on the planet. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.